Good evening, Councillors Fox and Councillor Sullivan. Councillor Fox, are you joining us as a deputy tonight?
I can do if you need.
No, we do have a quorum. I haven't got you set up in the meeting, so I'll pop you down as an observer. Is that okay, Darren?
Nice.
If
Absolutely.
I put council, I don't have them set up in Info Council for the
Yeah.
voting.
Absolutely fine if we've got quorum.
We do. Yep. No worries. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks, Julie. Am I good to start then?
Yes.
All good? Well, welcome everybody to the Shire of Ashburton's Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee meeting. This Tuesday, the 11th of August 2026. I declare the meeting open at 6 p.m. At 1.1, acknowledgement to country. As representatives of the Shire of Ashburton Council, we respectfully acknowledge the local Indigenous people, the traditional custodians of this land where we are meeting upon today, and pay our respects to them and their elders past and present. At item 2, announcement of visitors, I'd also like to welcome Funda Kulugru, Senior Consultant Cyber Risk Consulting from Marsh, who joins us this evening to present to the committee the Shire of Ashburton's Australian Signals Directorate Essential 8 Gap Analysis Report. Welcome. As this report contains confidential information, I would like to move the following procedural motion: that the committee move behind closed doors at 6:01 p.m. pursuant to clause 6.2 of the Shire of Ashburton's Standing Orders Local Law 2012 to consider the following presentation, which is the Australian Signals Directorate Essential 8 Gap Assessment Report for the Shire of Ashburton. Councillors, may I please have a seconder to resolve the procedural motion to move behind closed doors, please?
Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Councillor. If there's no dissent, I declare the motion carried. Funda, welcome. to the public. And I think, Julie, you're going to get our agenda back up in front of us. Is that the case? Thank you. And and is there any dissent in regards to that motion? All in favour?
Yeah.
Show of hands. It's moved. Thank you.
Yes, Elena Sullivan.
Thank you. And over the page at item 3, I don't need to read through those names, but we've got them correct as the attendees of the meeting. Apologies we have from Councillor Day and Councillor Noon at 3.2. And there are no members of the public at the meeting and no members of the media. At item 3.3, approved leaves of absence, there are none. At item 4.1, declarations by members. Can all committee members please state that you have given due consideration to all matters contained in the agenda? Can we just work through you one at a time? Madam President?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Rumble?
Yes.
Thank you. Councillor Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. And I have as well at 4.2, declarations of interest. A member who has an impartiality, proximity or financial interest in any matter to be discussed at this meeting must disclose the nature of the interest either in written notice given by the Chief Executive Officer prior to the meeting or at the meeting immediately before the matter is discussed. A member who makes a disclosure in respect to an interest must not preside at the part of the meeting which deals with the matter or participate in or be present during any discussion or decision-making process relative to the matter unless the disclosing member is permitted to do so under section 5.68 or section 5.69 of the Local Government Act 1995. There are no such interests to declare, is that correct? At item 5, confirmation of the previous minutes. 5.1.1, minutes of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee held on the 19th of May 2026. The officer's recommendation is that the minutes of the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee held on that date be confirmed as true and accurate record of that meeting. Councillors, can I please have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer's recommendation for item 5.1.1, the minutes of the previous meeting of the 19th of May. Can we have a mover of those, please? I'm happy to move them.
Yes.
And a seconder.
Audra Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. And can we have a vote? Thanks. In support. Is everyone in support of those minutes being a true and accurate record? Thank you all for, and Councillor Sullivan.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to public agenda items. 6.1, the compliance audit return. Having read through the agenda item, are there any questions or comments? Anybody want to speak for or against the officer's recommendation in this matter? And from the CEO or your team, Keith, is there any added commentary you wish to add to this item?
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Yeah, outstanding effort from the Shire compliance team here, 98.78. Only one error, which was associated with an annual return. So well done to the Shire team.
Thanks, Keith. Any questions at all for the CEO or his team members? At 6.1 then, the officer's recommendation is that the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council 1, endorse and accept the findings outlined in the 2025 compliance audit return for the period of 1 January 2025 to 31 December 2025 as detailed in attachment 1, and 2, authorises the Shire President and the Chief Executive Officer to jointly certify that the 2025 compliant audit return for submission to local government inspector by 30 September 2026. Councillors, can I please have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer's recommendation for item 6.1, the 2025 compliance audit return? A mover, please.
Yes, Alana Sullivan.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. And a seconder?
Yes, Audra Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. And can we have a show of hands in support of the officer's recommendation?
Yes,
Thank
Alana
you.
Sullivan.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan. That's unanimous. Moving on to item 6.2, the audit log status update. Does anybody have any questions or comments in regards to the audit log status update that's detailed in the agenda and the attachments? The officer's recommendation is on the screen, which is the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council 1 endorses the closure of the 3 validated internal audit action numbers 255, 276, 277 as detailed in attachment 1. 2, that they note the internal audit findings 274, 275 are reclassified as archived in progress and will be retested as part of the next Regulation 17 review. And 3, receives the updated internal audit log, outstanding and closed actions report dated 10 July 2026, also as provided in attachment 1. Councillors, can I please have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer recommendations for item 6.2, the audit log status update? A mover, please. Thank you, Madam
Yes.
President. And a seconder? Councillor Councillor
Yeah.
Linton. Yep, sorry. And a show of hands, please. For it's unanimous.
Yes, Councillor Sullivan.
Thank you, Sullivan. And at 6.3, moving on, the Internal Audit Annual Independence Declaration 2025-2026. Do we have any questions of the CEO or the team in regards to the materials being provided? And to the CEO or Darren or DeLuca, is there any other context we need in regards to the papers that have been submitted?
I have no, through the chair, I have no comment on this. Fairly straightforward.
Thank you, Keith. Yep, thank you. Questions around from the councillors regarding this item? Well, the officer's recommendation is that the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council 1 receives the Internal Auditor's Annual Independence Declaration for the period of 1 July 2025 to 30 June 2026. 2, notes the matters disclosed in this report regarding potential or perceived threats to organisational independence that were communicated through established government processes. And 3, notes the internal auditor's confirmation that the organisational independence of the internal audit activity was maintained during the reporting period in accordance with the Internal Audit Charter and the Global Internal Audit Standards. Councillors, can I please have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer's recommendation for item 6.3, the Internal Audit Annual Independence Declaration for 2025-2026. Can we have a mover, please? I'm happy to move the report or the officer's recommendation. And a seconder, please.
Yes.
Madam President. Thank you. And can we have a show of hands in support of the officer's recommendation?
Yes, Alana Sullivan.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan and others. Carried unanimously. Moving on to item 6.4, the internal audit schedule, August 2026 to November 2026. Can I move to the CEO or your team? Anybody want to talk in greater detail about the report?
Through the chairperson, no, I don't need to talk to a report unless DeLuca has a comment or other staff. Darren?
Through chair, through chair, about this schedule. Now, we currently do not have an internal audit plan, what we call a strategic internal audit plan. So in absence of a strategic internal audit plan, we use a schedule. What we do is we agree from meeting to meeting what we are going to do for the next quarter. So here, as you can see, the audit that was on pause, that is the fire break internal audit, has rescheduled to start with the next cycle, which is being cleared now with the more details being discussed on how to proceed for the future. And the other internal audit that we have scheduled is the local government regulation 17, one of the elements from the local government regulation 17, because the audit regulations was reformed from 1st of January 2026, which gives an opportunity for us for this Shire to do one of the element. So we are taking the legislative compliance element out of the three elements of financial management, legislative compliance, and the risk management, because the reason is now with the reforms, there has been a new audit, compliance audit annually that has to be conducted by the Shire, and then complete the CAR, that is compliance audit report, and then compliance audit return, and then file that with the inspector, local government inspector. So because of the gravity of that situation, that is going a bit in depth than compared to earlier. Now we have scheduled this legislative compliance that review to come just before that for the next year for the CAR, to have a support and to have the confidence for the council that the CAR in the next year, it coming from a background or the coming from a control environment, which is going to be assured by the next audit of the legislative compliance. So that's the reason that we have brought that forward here. Otherwise, it is not due this year. So, but the new reform has given us the opportunity to for CEO to schedule at any time during the 4 years time. So that's why we have taken that one. So for the next quarter, we have scheduled the current audit which is in progress, that is the local emergency preparedness, and the other one is the legislative compliance. So that's the plan for the next quarter. Thank you.
Thank you, DeLuca. Councillors, questions for the CEO and his team regarding 6.4?
Yes, Councillor Rummel's got a question. I noticed right through our document, Luca, that there's an indication with our contract management within the Shire. It appears that you mentioned in your document that the Shire hasn't quite consolidated corporate approach to contract management, and a lot of our contract management is virtually independent people in different groups of the business, and it talks about getting something resolved by 2027.
Sorry, is that the next agenda item, Chair?
I apologise if it is. Sorry, it may be. All right. Sorry, Luca. Sorry.
That's fine.
Thanks, Councillor.
Sorry,
Other
apologise.
questions? No problems at all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions for the CEO and his team, including DeLuca? Any further comments, DeLuca? Thank you for your input.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so the Office's recommendation at 6.4, internal audit schedule, August 2026 to November 2026, is that the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council, 1, notes the progress of the 3 internal audits endorsed up to May 2026, being the internal audits of corporate credit cards, contract management, and local emergency preparedness. 2, endorses the rescheduling of one internal audit to January 2027 to March 2027, being the internal audit of fire break management. 3, endorses the continuation of one internal audit from August 2026, being the internal audit of local emergency preparedness. And 4, endorses the commencement of one internal audit from August 2026 to support part of the Regulation 17 review, being the legislative compliance review. Councillors, can I please have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer's recommendation for item 6.4, the internal audit schedule, August 2026 to November 2026. Can we have a mover, please?
Yes, Audra.
Thank you, Madam President. And Councillor Rumble.
Yeah.
Can we have a show of hands in support of the officer's recommendation?
Yes, Alana Sullivan.
Thank you very much. Carried unanimously. Moving on to item 6.5, the internal audit report, contract management. To the CEO, anything to add, Keith and team, regarding this paper?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councillor Rumble, yes, we did note the partially effective systems that we have in place of 1 to 5, which is on page 25 or the second page of the associated agenda. In the associated attachments 1 to 5, there is a management plan and an implementation strategy included in this document to resolve the matters that needed to be strengthened, that was identified by our internal auditor. We already have a number of documents that are in the system with the middle leadership team, and they'll be moving through to the ELT in due course. So for number 1, there is documents in place to finalise and approve contract procurement governance framework, implementation of approved organisational practice procedures and forms, define contract ownership and contract management responsibility, communicate government requirements through directorates, and monitor and implement through the management governance process. So we already have those documents in place, and they need to move through the leadership team now for their final assessment. We also note that in regards to the centralisation of a lot of the contract management documents, that will be achieved in the second year of this implementation of the Strive management system. That's going to definitely improve our contract management registers and centralisation for our record keeping to address these issues.
Thanks, CEO Woodward. Further questions, Councillor Rumble? Does that answer your previous question?
Yes, thanks. But I do have another question.
Please.
In the as far as an agenda item through the President and Keith, the CEO, there's no real feedback to council. We get to say at risk, like reports like near misses or anything like that in any of our risk assessments regard to how our business is going. Is there anything like that that's anybody thought of before, like the safety triangle, giving some numbers, you know, how many near misses equals maybe a fatality or anything like that? Do we have anything like that in place?
Okay. So in regards to workplace health and safety,
Yeah.
We don't yet have a system in place where we centralise that data or number of incidences or number of near misses. But however, we do have systems in place where if there is an accident or a near miss, that does get reported and investigated through our working teams. That information is documented. We just do not at this stage have a centralised reporting, a day without incidents, near misses, and so on.
Yeah. But where I'm coming from, Keith, is urbanomics in the business, and I just wonder, with all the technology, I always think that maybe safety is a key thing in there, and I just wonder sometimes. I know the Shire have done a few things, but just wonder whether this sort of committee is one of those committees that you can review some of that health and safety stuff for improvements or new technologies, that's all.
I think that's something we can look at, have a look at that moving forward.
Yep.
Thank
you, Chair.
I would just be mindful about, whilst we present that information on risk management, that we don't merge into operational issues. But I do see the value. I do see the value of having a centralised recording system to see how we're actually progressing in regards to a reduction in incidences and near misses.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Other questions regarding item 6.5, the internal audit contract management report? So the officer's recommendation for 6.5 is that the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council, that the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee recommends that Council receives the internal audit over contract management report as detailed in attachment 1. Councillors, can I have a mover and a seconder to resolve the officer's recommendation for item 6.5, the internal audit report, contract management? We have a mover,
Councillor
please.
Rumble. Yeah. Councillor Rumble.
Thanks, Councillor Rumble. And I'm happy to second that, Mr. Brown. We have a show of hands in support of the officer's recommendation.
Yes, Alana Sullivan.
Thank you, Councillor Sullivan and others.
Yeah.
Now move on to item 7, new business of an urgent nature introduced by committee decision. There is none. At item 8, confidential matters. Councillors, before we move to item 8.1, we need to progress the following procedural motion: that the council move behind closed doors at 7:18 p.m. pursuant to clause 6.2 of the Shire of Ashburton Standing Orders Local Law 2012 to consider the following item: 7.1, the Wittenoom Claims Update, pursuant to subsection 5.23 in brackets 2C of the Local Government Act 1995, which provides the personal affairs of any person. Can we have a mover and a seconder for that procedural motion, which I've moved? Can we have a second? Councillor Rumble, thank you. There's no dissent. I declare that motion carried. We now move to close.
That's complete.
Thank you.
Thanks, Logan.
Thank you all. At item 9, the
Excuse me,
next
sorry,
meeting. Yes,
through the
sorry.
chair. Sorry, Mr. Brown,
Yes.
can you just tell me who was the seconder on that one, please? I missed it.
It was myself.
Thank you, Shire President.
Thank you. All good, Julie?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. At item 9, the next Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee meeting will be held at 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday, the 8th of December 2026 at Clem Thompson Sports Pavilion, Stadium Road, Tom Price. And finally, at item 10, there being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 7:28 p.m. Thank you everyone for your time and your input in reading the papers and contributing throughout the meeting. And to the CEO and his team, to Julie and all those in the back.